Back to the Omni mainframe. I can't necessarily say that I was any more prepared for this mission this time, but it certainly went a lot better. I'm going to owe that mostly to trying to switch up my tactics over the last few runs, using different agents, trying out different starting programs, even just prioritizing different sites that I was going to be infiltrating. So what's different this time? Well, instead of Decker, I now have Banks, who has the ability to hack her way through security doors without a pass card. Anything that prevents me from having to interact with guards, whether it's stealing or, of course, knocking them out, is extremely valuable. And besides, I never really used Decker's whole gimmick of starting out with a cloaking rig in the first place. Well, and you can already see that I'm getting a lot of use out of that immediately. Good thing that wasn't facing the door to start with. Aside from that, I also am taking two different new starting programs. Instead of having the Power Drip, which gives you 1 power per turn, I now have Dynamo, which gives you 2 power, but only if the security level is above 2. Which is actually totally okay, because with International, I have the wireless thing, and being able to hack consoles for power, especially if she has a high hacking ability, means that I'm usually not hurting for power at the start of a mission. It's only after I've been in here for a while and tapped each one of the consoles that I'm starting to worry about that. And getting 2 power after the security level is at 2 is a good way to compensate for that. Then, instead of Lockpick, I decided to take Parasite. So Parasite is a weird, gimmicky way of breaking through firewalls. Lockpick is very straightforward. 2 power, breaks through 1 firewall. Parasite, on the other hand, it has an increasing power cost based on how many firewalls are hosting a Parasite. And at the start of a turn, it breaks through 1 firewall. So if you're just trying to break through 1 or 2 like cameras or something, it only costs 1 power, which is great. But the unfortunate thing, though, especially with cameras, is that it waits until the start of your turn to work. So if, say, the camera is rebooting, as you know what usually happens after you get to the first security level, or if they just usually recapture stuff after you complete an objective, depending on where you're at. It means that you are going to be seen by that camera before the Parasite activates. So it's good for conserving power, but also kind of bad for taking care of something important right now. And that's where the last thing that I said, prioritizing different sites, came in. One of the things that I did was try and find the mainframes, the ones that give you a lot more incognita programs immediately. And with that, I was able to get Hunter. Getting rid of Damon's just entirely is super good, and Lockpick 2.0. So, 3 power to break through 2 firewalls is just, well, it's Lockpick 2.0 for an upgrade, as an upgrade, so obviously it works in that exact way. It's just a better version of Lockpick. And it also means that I have something to break through firewalls immediately. Well, anyway, I do also have 1 extra agent here who, I'm going to be honest, is just kind of here to sort of be another character who can knock out guards if absolutely necessary. And of course, I wanted to go for stealth. Well, we'll see how that goes. I mean, look at the east side of this facility right now. It is just absolutely jam-packed. And one of the great things, though, about the Parasite is the whole guarded guys that have the ability to get shields relative to the firewalls that they have in place. Parasite does break through those very efficiently. Now, that does mean that I always have Parasite hosted on something, so the power cost can get a little bit prohibitive, but, it just cracks through one of the shields as soon as the turn starts. And as soon as they get down to 0, I don't think they get the shield back. So, That just works out well for me. It's a very good counter, and that means that, well, if I do need to go in guns or, well, tasers ablazing, then I can. And of course, the last thing here, and maybe the thing most worth mentioning, is that just the layout was otherwise very friendly. As much as I don't want to just hope that the RNG works out in my favor, it's a numbers game. You're going to get to the point where you're going to have a better area than others, just because, well, if you don't, then you're going to fail and have to do it again, right? It's a very large area, and you do have the Harbinger there, and the Harbingers are real obnoxious. However, it's just the one guy. And then the place that I actually need to get to, yes, is on the east side. And unfortunately, Monster doesn't really have the same sort of cybernetics and everything that I've been giving everybody else. So he does not have nearly as many action points. And then I also need to get through all the guards. But having everybody concentrated in one area means that if I do need to start knocking people out, then they're going to stick around in that one area. Having a very large open place with a bunch of holographic pillars, I don't know, Omni's big fan of hard light cubes. Whatever. It's like that just works out in my favor. I do still need to get in here and take care of everybody, though. And man, it is just... there's like, what, 2 cameras in there, 2 shielded guards, also the iRobot, and then 1 other guard that's also sitting right there, too. It is heavily fortified. Oh, but one of the other things that Banks does have, speaking of deciding to choose violence, is that she can knock out guards for an extra long time. She has like a special knockout serum as part of her starting kit. So that is good for knocking somebody out and then just running to the other side of the facility. But I need to make sure that I know where I'm going before I do that. And yeah, like I was saying, there's where I need to get to. And then on top of that, well, I need to hack it. And then I need to get a Monster in there for, what, 4, 5, maybe even like 6 turns? I'm not even sure. And during that time, there's going to be just a bunch of stuff happening. The way that this level goes is that as soon as you start hacking that, yeah, it takes multiple turns. And then I think they summon, what, 2 guards? And they get queued in on the location of Monster. And in addition to that, you also get 2 daemons installed, I think, which is just fantastic. And one of those, I think, just increases the amount of daemons you have to deal with, period. So, you know, it's many things to have to deal with. But due to the whole... I maxed out International's whole hacking ability immediately, and that gives her, like, what, 7, 8 power whenever she hacks a console? And that's huge, because that means that I can just go zap every one of the daemons that I see immediately, and put parasites on everything. With the hunter ability that I have. So I'm kind of like starting strong. We're starting strong here, and I'm going around scouting before I decide to figure out something. Distracting guards. I mean, that's mostly the plan that I had here. I'm just gonna open up doors, close doors, and then run behind cover, etc. and so on. I'm trying to figure out a good place that I can put the iRobot here. That's not... because one of the things that happens is that guards get alerted. Well, they get suspicious if they see a robot rebooting. And they do that after the I don't even know what you call it, the mind control wears off. Sure, whatever. That's a way to put it. Hacking wears off. You can in fact pin those things down, not that it really matters too much. They get up in a turn, and like pinning a robot when you can just go hack it immediately again. At least you can do that at a distance, provided that you have, you know, the camera work. Yeah, even though I was messing around with a lot of different strategies here, International was always on the team just purely because she makes hacking things really easy with the whole wireless deal. You can see cameras, you can see things through walls. Like, what more do I need to say? You can see things through walls. I think there's little else required in the way of explanation. I'm sure that if you are a pro at this game, then that doesn't matter nearly as much. I'm sure if you're a pro at this game, you're probably not even hacking consoles for power and, just getting line of sight for most things, right? Because you know how the generation for everything works, so you don't need to worry nearly as much about having something that will tell you where things are. I'm just thinking that in other games similar to this, that eventually you just get a feel for the layout of everything. And of course, a very similar sort of game in this respect, Cogmind. You definitely got a very good idea of where the exits are going to be appearing, where like stockpiles are going to be appearing. It's just like, okay, this hallway has a very specific turn to it. And taking a look at one of the doors, yeah, I'm betting the second that I go through there's probably going to be a defender robot. Man, Cogmind is such a good game. I was thinking about some of the stealth games that I played on the channel before, and God, I think Cogmind is just straight up the best one. It did so much of like what this game did as well. I mean, if you've been watching like Invisible Ink and you're thinking it's like, man, I really like the way they did the gameplay with the, distracting guards and having to procure specific items and going for like builds and everything like that, whether it's more combat oriented or stealth oriented. Cogmind did so much of that, and that game was just absolutely enormous. I'd highly recommend checking out the series on the channel, and maybe even just playing the game for yourself. But okay, that's my advertisement for that game, I guess. Oh, there's so much that I didn't do in that series, but it also took me 80 hours to beat the game the first time with the most basic ending possible. Here, there's at least only the one. Although there was DLC. Haven't checked that out though. But anyway, like I was saying here. Okay. Distracting the guard. And I think at this point I realized that I might have made something of a mistake because I should have taken one of the more disposable characters out here. All right. He's the one guy that doesn't have any of the piercing stuff. Everybody else has piercing stuff. Except for maybe Central. All right, and there's the end game. When I'm able to break through, the big terminal there on the east side, that's where I need Monster to get to after that. So that's just an entire thing by itself. Yeah, I'd still want to distract the guard like that, but I don't think I want to get to a point where Central is going to be sort of pinned in a single room for maybe a long time, because she's also kind of essential to beating the game. Monster and Central are the only ones that need to survive. But certainly you have a better chance if you do not let every one of your agents get killed over the course of this. Now that's a bold play, putting him right out there in the open. But the idea is that, the guy is going to make a beeline right for that spot over there. Artfully placing characters in line of sight and then immediately getting them out of line of sight is a good way if you don't have lethal alternatives here. Incognita's still having a really great time. This is where you might start rethinking what we're doing here, but whatever. Look, I'm committed. I'm committed to beating Door Closing Simulator 2015. The final door. That's probably what I called this episode. Okay, I do need to remember that, yes, we kind of do need to hack our way through that one console when I get Monster over there. So getting International over here to just purely get enough energy to make that happen was sort of just like, well, I hope I got enough spaces to move over here. Because there's not a whole lot more consoles left. I still got, what, three more turns? Or choosing to just get caught all over the place. Maybe just go knock out the Harbinger to get it up to security level 2. Look, here's the thing. The security level is going to rise regardless. Like, regardless. That's just how it works. However, I can force it up very easily just by getting noticed by a guard, and the Harbinger, I think, getting knocked out will increase it by 3? Something ridiculous. That's why they're called Harbingers. But, yeah, I don't want... At level 3, then, more guards start to get brought into the building. And then every increasing level from there, even more guards get brought into the building, and they start pinpointing locations of characters. So... no, it's not worth it just to try and get Dynamo working for me. I'll wait for Parasite to get back up, because after all, Parasite does cost 0, as long as... yeah, but you know, the other thing too was making sure that I got rid of the Dame in there. Because didn't really want to have to deal with whatever that is. Decreasing, like, AP is so obnoxious. Although I actually didn't even speak about that. One of the things as part of like prioritizing different stuff rather than just going for powerful weapons or whatever, I did try and go for a little bit more cybernetics, and after I break through a firewall, I think one of the cybernetics that I have on everybody, and I'm just like, if he turns around in the wrong way, is there anything else I can do? Do I want to use a rewind? Because this was kind of a bad idea. Nah, I committed to it. Well, nobody's coming into this room, so I can just keep him pinned there for a very long time. Central is not important until Monster finishes the initial work. All I need to do is get her then down into the south part of the facility, and there's only a Harbinger down there to kind of mess around, so... oh god, was this the... I think this was the part where I just totally fumbled, like, everything related to the iRobot. Yeah, the iBot. It's going to be tracking Monster there, and that's not good for me. I kind of need to either get it out of the room or, I don't know, do something. Just do something, anything. Because the guards might not be able to see too well, but the iRobot is literally built only to do that. Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. It's not bad. It's not a bad idea. That gets the 2 guards out of there. You can see I'm desperately trying not to just knock everybody out here because, you know, this is supposed to be a stealth game. I'm not supposed to go the absolute just, you know, melee-oriented invisible ink build. Even though that's... well, I'm sure I probably also put that as the thumbnail for the episode. What can I say? Hey, I made sure that I actually had stuff to be able to do that. Worst comes to worst. And they're so tightly packed in here. Do you really blame me? It's a real nightmare of a situation. Yeah, and you can see that it's like the iBot's just right there, and I'm like, what was, yeah. Well, is this a good idea? No. Look, I'm trying my best. There is a way that I can get you know, this guy, the good doctor, out of like line of sight of everybody, pretty trivially. But if Monster dies, I'm not doing too good. And yeah, there's where the iBot is just like, what am I even doing? What am I doing right now? I need more power so I can zap that bot. And you know, as long as I'm... if they're not specifically looking for somebody, but they're just looking around to see if there's anything, you can skulk around in the yellow areas, but yeah. Well, anyway, that didn't work out well. So the plan here instead was, okay, I'm gonna go try and get a bunch of power. And then use power to kill robot. Kill its, well, with hostility. Why would I phrase it like that? Incognita is not right. What are you talking about? Anyway. We just need to get her back on the power source. It'll be totally fine. What do you even mean? All right. You can tell that my hand on the taser is starting to get twitchy, right? It's just like, but you know, also, what if everybody was just unconscious? Wouldn't that work? It would work, right? Look, I'm not the only one thinking this, right? That if we just knocked out everybody, it would be. Oh,
hey, we're checking it out. I guess I'm just a little amped.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get in this room and then get out, and he's just. Well, hey, alarm level 2 does mean that Dynamo is now powered up and working for me. That is 2 power every single round, with lockpick enough to break one level of firewall. Yeah, lockpick, I feel, I don't know, it's, the starting stuff is good. You just kind of automatically get power, and lockpick is a basic but functional sort of program. Yeah, I definitely should have been going for more of the server areas, the mega server farms or whatever they're called, just to get more. These programs have been so important because hacking, well, Omni has everything. They have literally everything. It's in the name. And kind of faltering on any of, like, you know, stealth offensive capability, because again, it's like when the monster starts hacking that database, he is going to attract at least one guard to himself. And he does have, what, a 3 armor piercing gun, but it has like an 8 turn cooldown or something. All right, and here now, frustrated with this thing, I'm just going to put it in the closet. I'm going to put this toy away in the closet and we'll never see it again. And every single time that it becomes active, I will immediately hack it again. No guards go in there. They're not going to notice it. But yeah, I got to say that I don't know what, like, the meta strategies or anything for Invisible Ink are. Like, what's the optimal build? I feel like taking lockpick, though, is... Taking the basic starting ones, probably not. Maybe it is, though. I don't know. I keep taking International, and I feel like that certainly there's better stuff, right? There's better agent abilities, because I have unlocked a lot of agents over the course of this, and additionally, they have alternate forms in the archived versions of themselves, which seem all pretty good, but wireless though, I'm betting that as soon as you understand it's a little bit better, then yeah, there's definitely better agents to get. Certainly, though, with the way that I've been playing the game, it's also been like, I'm not really using the characters to their full potential. I would have to probably play this game a lot more, and probably on the higher level difficulties, to really force me into getting specific builds to work. That's always something that I do with a lot of these games. Just really sort of mess around with, and you don't want to walk through the red. Yeah, and then just kind of dip behind there. Sure. He's not going to be able to see me. Anyway. Well, like, yeah, what I'll do is I'll just plow ahead with whatever, and then I will refine my strategy slowly based on how much I'm failing. So here's the thing. I will just take a hammer to any game if that's all it requires. Just run in and start wildly swinging around with a whatever sort of weapon that I'm given. And then if that doesn't work, iterate until I find a strategy that does. And this game has sort of forced me to do that, but I still think there's a lot of room for improvement, really. I'm not very good at this game. That's what I'm saying, okay? Okay, there, I'll admit it. Yeah, you can see. It's just like the diplomacy and stealth has failed. we're going in for the attack. Get the weapons ready, cause they're gonna be used. Well, Parasite's whole ability to take out their huge armor was sort of an important part of the entire strategy here. So I'm just going to say that this was intended the entire time. Now, if I am reflecting on this in any respect, I could just say, well, you did have a build that could take out these guys. Why did you try doing anything else? Because I wanted to prove that I could do a stealth game. And clearly, well, you should go watch Cogmind if you want to see me do a stealth game. There, I'll bring that one up. Even has like alarm levels and everything too. I like that. I don't think that the development of these two games was of the two games that I'm talking about here, Invisible Ink, this game, and Cogmind have really anything to do with each other, but it's funny just to think about how many mechanics they kind of came up with in terms of creating them anyway. And now here's where I consider, wait a second, maybe I should, like, I don't know, close doors, door closing simulator, etc. And also drag some of these guys out of the way. Thank you, Dagger. Makes that nice and easy, even with the increased mainframe walls. For the most part, I've kind of like hacked everything. Yep. Extra long, drag them off to the side, and then when guys start appearing, I'll have, I'll have more places to... knock characters out. You can't literally pile up all of the bodies onto one square, unfortunately. I don't know what Clay was thinking when they didn't let you just pile up all of the bodies into a corner. It's as if they didn't really want you playing the game in that way. But then again, they did give me the ability to do so. Why am I even taking two of those? That's completely pointless. Well, anyway. Protector's going to be a problem. I think Monster's the only one with a weapon that can go through three-layer armor. So, consider that an issue if they start to appear. And get them right next to the door. Ready to go. You know what I'm saying. Everybody else is just... every one of my characters is just pinning somebody. Or ready to pin somebody. Oh, come on. Well, anyway. Yeah, here's where I realized, oh man, if Central gets seen, she's not going to have nearly as many options to do stuff with. All right, one armored guys, fine. I think I can deal with 1 to 2 armor pretty trivially. International has a gun that will do 2 armor piercing, I think. So, you know, that's fine. However, it's just... If a 3 armored character gets in here, that's bad. And here's where I'm just like, okay. Well, I'm just going to have International pinning down characters. She'll have the gun if necessary. And we're going to switch it out for a little bit more powerful stuff so that we can at least pierce through 1 armor. And the plan is to not even give him the old rigmarole, but just knock him out. Kind of guide him around the room by opening and closing doors in artful ways. That's something this game could have used, by the way. Just thinking about it right now. Yeah. And it begins. But, yeah, thinking about it right now, it's just like breaking your way through walls in some way. Having just an item that allows you to do that. I know you don't have the same sort of, like, civilian robots that will then repair walls. But still, it would have made there would have been a strategy there. I still think that, you know, I'm just remembering right now, I think throughout the entire time that I played this game, I never actually sprinted once. Just thinking about, like, options to, say, distract guards and everything. Damn, that probably could have been useful rather than relying on walking into areas, walking into sight, or opening and closing doors. Wow, I'm bad at this game. Well, it's over now, baby. It doesn't matter. By the way, whenever a guard gets spawned in, Incognita now says, guard spawning in, kill them all. I haven't killed anybody in this run, to be fair. Just maybe, you know, a touch of the unconsciousness. That's it. It's fine. Yeah, I'm just like, zap that guy, make sure that I don't have to deal with his stupid mainframes, and also like the Parasite gets refreshed and everything. Definitely not going to go to meet him. That is not... We're piling everybody up in a single room because there is good strategy with that. Trust me. It is that if everybody's piled in the same room, they're all going to be searching around that room. So when I vacate this place after I got the stuff that I need, and there's that done. When I vacate this place after I got the codes or whatever it is that it's required, I won't need to be around this part of the facility, period. So these guys can get up and start checking around this room, no issue at all. All right, I get it. Oh, these demons. And there's nothing you can do to stop those either. But that's that. Successfully done. Sort of. Well, I mean, it is successful. You can't say that this wasn't successful. You can maybe fault the methods by which I did it, but it was absolutely successful. We got one more guy to come in here. And then make sure that he can't see anybody through the door, because otherwise he won't walk through the door and get ambushed. They do have guns, you know. All right. Okay. Central and Monster need to get to the bottom. Everybody else can kind of just mess around, or if necessary, run directly into the line of sight of a guard, because they will investigate people they shoot. So that's a distraction. The most macabre of distractions, but it's a way to do it. It is a strategy. There's a good reason why they tell you that agent survival is optional. Oh, it's a harbinger. Great. Because doing anything with those guys at all is just getting me that much closer to getting super armored and, you know, pinpoint location type of things. Yeah, a little bit late now. We do not have... I have no use for cool new abilities. Yeah. It's nice and whatever, but one, uses too much power. Two, he's not going to be... Like, I went so heavy into... making sure that I was able to hack everything trivially, that having that sort of extra ability there doesn't really matter. All right, probably don't even want to try and go through that room. Unfortunately, they're not really giving me too much of a choice. And maybe even more unfortunately than that, I don't think I got a choice in terms of how to deal with that guy. And there's only one character who can actually take him down. And do I want to do that? Yes, this is where I am seriously considering just like sacrificing one of the agents. Like having him shoot and then having everybody else run out of the room. They're going to be so confused that it won't matter.
I'm just a little twitchy today. Breaching the door.
Well, okay, that's not one of the essential people.
What was that?
Nah, I decided to go for it anyway. Ah, great. Good, Damon. Thanks, Damon. Come on. I mean, I don't know if I could even use like Hunter to get rid of that at this point in time, but well, I'm already done. So yeah, everybody is all in the same room. And I think they're going to be looking at the unconscious bodies too much to be able to like notice me, which is good, but also still risk going on in here. And once again, International, as much as she's been a very important part of this entire team, is gonna be the first one to go down if I need a distraction. Oh god, Monster has terrible AP. He can't move anywhere. He takes so long to move anywhere. What does that do? Installs a new daemon, whatever.
If you say so.
But that... Ah! Why? The AP's already low enough. Well. So, yeah, repin that guy. Just probably a good idea in general. And then I'm just sort of moving the entire troop down here. Because it's like so close. It's so close. Oh, I didn't actually hack that. That was the wrong one. I didn't mean to do that one. Whoops. No, I want to do that one. All right. And then, well, Parasite, whatever. It'll get taken care of by the time people get down there. I could have used anything, really, though. All right. Come on. Come on, everybody. Everything that every place there is to hide behind, there will be somebody hiding behind it. And at this point in time, I probably should have... Oh, yeah, here it comes, baby. Oh, right, they have that, too. Didn't actually hit anybody. Huh. Kind of surprised. All right. So, ambush would be a good idea here to try and prevent extra dudes from spawning in. But they're going to be so far... And I'm just going to kill that thing just because... It does also give me extra AP to do so. That's the mental, whatever it's called, cybernetic. Gives you 2 AP, maximum of 6 every time you break through a firewall. So doing that does actually help me, especially because I got the labyrinth installed. Maybe the worst one, aside from like Spawn's new guard. And even then, everything is far enough away that I don't think they would be able to spawn anybody in a way that would matter.
Hey, you okay?
Yep.
Investigating area.
Harbinger. Now, I shouldn't even... I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to close that just to be sure. I should just let the doctor get killed by the Harbinger. Because knocking him out is actually worse than just getting killed. But then again, I mean, everybody's going to be spawned in far away enough that it won't matter.
Hey, you okay? Stop
So,
there.
it's like I just need to get everybody down. Yeah, and of course that has to be one of those. And I do believe that this is, yep. Well, look. I mean, the smart thing to do maybe would be place a bunch of agents away from where we're all going. Close that. Just to be sure that... Oh, come on. Yeah, I did it. And that was a bad idea. But okay. I don't think that the enemy is going to have enough AP to actually get over here to see me anyway.
Investigating.
Oh, it looks like he's taking the long way around anyway. It does not matter.
Located something suspicious.
See, like I said, grouping everybody up together means that they will have a very hard time tracking me because they're not really blanketing the area. They're all kind of looking in the same spot. Okay. Need to have Monster there, but Monster's there. He's ready to go. I just need to get him inside of there and beat the game. Beat the final boss in Invisible Ink. I was going to say Inscription for a second because I played that game a lot lately. They both start with IN. All right, well, this would all be very bad if I wasn't just about to finish. There it is. Now I just need to get Central inside of that area. And done. Whew. There. Like I said, changing up strategy, good generation on the level, and just getting lucky with all of the other areas too helped a lot.
Mother, are you there?
(568) Alpha override Omega 3.
Access denied.
568 Gamma reboot procedure 11.
Access denied. Illegal intrusion detected.
Okay, we'll do this the hard way.
They've broken through my grid. Heavy stuff incoming.
Not a good time.
I'm getting the hell out of here. You need to do the same if you want to live.
There you are.
Warning. Security personnel have been notified and are en route. User identified.
Mother.
This host is acceptable.
Wipe the SetNet records and reroute their security protocols towards
I now control the entirety of SecNet.
all of SecNet? That's not possible.
Taking control of the Guardian satellite network. Priming orbital lasers.
Orbital lasers? What are you doing?
KNO headquarters destroyed.
Wait,
Plastech headquarters destroyed.
that's not what I asked you to do.
FTM headquarters destroyed. Senkaku manufacturing facilities purged of organic materials. Production facilities online. You have served our purposes well. You have been rewarded for your service and will not be harmed. You may now leave.
What the hell is going on? 1 minute the combined security apparatus of 4 megacorps is bearing down on us, and the next, SecNet is gone.
She tipped them off. This was her plan all along.
What? Your AI, where is it?
She's no longer in our employ. Operator, are you there? We've made it. It cost us dearly, but we've made it.
Welp, you really wanged it this time, but doesn't really matter to me. Look, we can deal with that. We can deal with that whole thing later. The point is that I was able to beat the game. Hooray! I did it.